Hey, this is Andrew Gabe from Luna Studios TCG, and today I will be giving you a deck profile on my red-purple law list that I've used in most of my games. This is a deck list I've been working on and with my friend Zach, and I'll just do a quick deck profile, and then later I'll go a little bit more in depth on the card by card. Yeah, so red-purple law is the leader. And let's get started here with 4 Gordon, the most efficient one. Then there's 4 Law, 3 Brooks, 4 Lindbergh, there's the 4th one, 4 Zoros, and 2 OP05 Law. Okay. Then for 2Ks, we have 4 Otamas, 2 Bepo, 2 Sanji, and 4 Shachi and Penguin. And then 4 Bepos. For blockers, we got Law, Captain Kid. For events, 3 Fire Fist, and 2 Gamma Knife. Right, now to go by the card by card, we'll go here first. For Gordon, it's the most efficient reducer in the deck. For 1, minus 3,000. Usually you're just going to use it as an event. Sometimes you'll be able to swing with it, but not always the case. Then I'll just go into Brook. Back in 4.5, I love this card. It was the MVP, but this time around it's just more of a removal bait. It will usually get removed, but if it doesn't, you'll get so much value. You can swing into a body that's rested, minus 2,000 another guy that you're going to remove. Really good. It might get a little iffy later into the game with bigger bodies, but even then it's still good. And it's a 1K. Next, Law. I was on the fence for Law, but since it's searchable now, it's so much better. It's a 1K. It's Otama with a 5K body. You can't really go wrong. There's a lot of plays you can do with this guy. Then me and Zach's Spice, which I'm pretty sure it sets us apart from most Laws lists. Lindbergh. Lindbergh is very, very versatile. First, it's a trigger. You can get it off life. You don't have to pay the Dawn for it. So good. Second, it's basically another Law activation if you already activated Law for the turn. So against yellow, this card is insane. Once you already used this, just for 2 more Dawn, you can remove basically any trigger that comes from life. Like, a lot of players will feel a lot more safe once you already use this, but if you have a Gordon in hand plus this, it's so good. Most triggers from life that are bodies are going to be 5K, Smoothie, Satori, and Cracker, and Peril Sparrow. You probably won't want to pop Peril Sparrow with this, but it's an option. It's better than it getting to swing at you. And then the most, I'd say, useful card, the most annoying card for your opponent, Zoro. This card, if you open multiple of, most games will win just off this. You can just go an annoying poke early into the game. If you can defend it, you can drop it at 3 Dawn. It could also be your finisher, which is what usually I like to keep it if I only open 1. If you open 2 or even 3, if you open 4, you're probably already won that game. But if you open 2, which is a good chance it might happen, not usually 3 or 4, you can go for early poke with the first one, and then once your opponent hits 1 life and you're stacked up on Dawn late game, you can just go big swing, and just take it from there. But if you open, that's if you open 2. You usually just hold the 1 until later into the game. Then Law, this is the best. Going first play on your 3 dawn turn. If it gets answered, well, it didn't have any counter in the first place, so you're fine with that. It got you traded for some removal. If it doesn't get answered, then it's just insane, because you just get a free search and a swing from the same body, and can't really complain from that. Then the best 2K, it's a 2K, it's a reducer. You can even go for games. There's games that I just reduce a rested body to 0, get a free swing in. They either counter it, which they probably won't, but it's a free swing. Hell, if you even have 5 dawn available, this can become a swing. You really can't go wrong with 4 Tommies. Then the weirder of the cards in our deck, this is just for starving now. It can work for Nami, because Nami's never going to swing face. But when they're starving you in an L, it's a very bad matchup. You're not getting any cards from life. They're popping your board. But as soon as you play this, you can take your life, go to 3, and then they either have to pop it with Gadatsu, which is a good trade on your part, or they can only pop like a rested Zoro, maybe a Law if you played it, but you know, the Gadatsus are not getting as much advantage. Usually would probably hold it until your next turn where it can swing for 7, but it's a great option. Let's see. Bepo, search target, you can technically play it and pop a 3000, just like Lindbergh, but that's what Lindbergh is for. Just keep that in hand. Search it with Law. And then the 4 Penguin. In 4.5, Bepo was king. OP05, Shachi, and Penguin are the kings. Just being able to get the 2 dawn back and not caring if your body gets removed is so good. They'll usually just ignore it, so it usually gets a swing in. So if you play a Brook and a Penguin, the Brook probably is going to get removed instead of this. Then you get a nice 5k swing. Yep. Best one of the 2. Next, for Bepo. Can't really say much about Bepo. It's a 1k counter, 5k body that gets you a dawn every turn if unanswered. And you still get some value with the on play. So it's a great card. 4 of, I think, forever in Law lists. Next, the 4 Laws. Some people are cutting it down. I cut it down to 3, and then I stopped seeing it all together for some reason. This card will win you games by itself. Against Sakazuki, they have a lot of non-counter. They'll keep cards in hand. Getting rid of 2 and then just keep consistently getting rid of their board will be the way to win against Sakazuki. Against Whitebeard, if you open multiple, you're going to love it. He's going to hate it. They're always going to be at more than 7 unless they counter out every single attack. And then at that point, you're okay with that because they're dying on their own. The 4 kids, I always feel like this is just a better option than Queen. Queen, you're going to have to be in a winning position to get the most use out of him. Just being at 5 dawn with having no board and playing Queen just doesn't feel as good. If they don't answer it, well, that's great. But this being able to get rid of a 3k body on your 5 dawn turn and getting a dawn back, and hopefully getting a dawn back from Bepo, getting that 6k swing, consistently getting this back, making your attacks bigger and bigger, feels amazing. It's like being able to swing 6 with leader and 7 with a body, -3, getting a dawn back and making your other swings just bigger. Way more efficient, 1k counter just like Queen, so it's no losses there. a great card overall. I will always play this over Queen. And yeah, moving on. Here we got Fire Fist. You always go down to 2 health, as not too fast, hopefully, but on your second or third turn, if you're at 2 life and you have this in hand, you don't even have to Dawn minus from leader skill to pop cards, getting rid of threats. Then, like, putting these two together feels amazing, right? So minusing a 5,000 body to pop it, and then 4,000 something else, that's the threat, feels great. Against Sakazuki, popping a Rebecca, minusing a threat, feels even better. This card, I wish I could run it more than 2. But if you see 2 of these and they're not needed, you're losing that game for sure. I was running at 3. I was seeing it at 2 in hand against like Zoro or other things that run small bodies, and just this not being as efficient as necessary was just losing me games. So, but together, these two, amazing. That's why I would like to bring it back to 3. But so far, it's been working great as is. Yep. So that's the deck profile, a little bit of a breakdown. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment and we can have a discussion. Maybe you can make my deck even better.